Good morning, guys. Captain Dylan Hubbard here at Hubbard's Marina with another morning view inside fish famous Johns Pass at Hubbard's Marina as we get ready to head offshore here on the Florida Fisherman for another long range adventure later today. Our 39-hour trip is departing later today at 3 o'clock. This morning our 5-hour half day is heading out there with Tampa Housing Authority. We've got a private fishing charter going out with those guys this morning. And then later on at 8 o'clock, we've got our public half-day trip leaving. We've got our 12-hour night snapper leaving later tonight. And definitely excited for another fun in the sun-filled day here inside Johns Pass at Hubbard's Marina. Gorgeous start to the morning here as the Florida Fisherman departs. And looking forward to some good fishing opportunities today prior to that wind picking up on us. It is going to unfortunately pick up as we have a cold front bearing down on the area. We're going to talk a little bit about the weather here, give you a little fishing update, and tell you what's going on here inside Johns Pass at Hubbard's Marina. Now, as far as the weather goes, the cold front is expected sometime around Sunday night, Monday morning. But prior to that, we're going to unfortunately have some pretty strong prefrontal activity due to a pretty high pressure gradient as that front pushes down. That big front has been sweeping across the United States, definitely creating a lot of weather, but some expected I guess you could say, thankful reprieve from some of the high temperatures that have been seen across the nation with that big high pressure that's settled in prior to the front. So this cold front sweeping through, definitely bringing with it some pretty severe weather across the southeast United States. But by the time it gets to us, not going to be super strong. We're not going to have a bunch of crazy weather with this cold front like a lot in the northern Gulf and southeast and kind of lower Midwest has seen. But what is going to happen is as this front passes us, it's going to kind of stall out. And this time of year, when those fronts stall out, the water's warm over the Atlantic and especially warm over the Gulf. And those warm temperatures can aid some of those cold fronts that hang around too long into forming into something we don't want to see. Remember, hurricane season kicks off June 1st, but this time of year in May, sometimes we get those early season tropical systems. And unfortunately, the last 7 years in a row, we haven't made it through the month of May without having a named system somewhere in the Atlantic or Gulf. So potentially, this cold front could potentially bring with it sometime next week some sort of tropical formation. Some of those long-range models have hinted at that. We're keeping an eye on it, but definitely a possibility there. But it's very early, and it's very early in the season. But this is the time of year you got to start watching for that, so be aware of it. And also keep in mind, guys, that we have a lot of wind over the next maybe 5 days, 4 days. It starts Saturday and it's going to ease off around Wednesday, Thursday. So definitely a little bit more breezy. Near shore fishing through the week, we should be able to do it because as this front comes past and stalls around the Atlantic off the east coast of Florida, we're going to have a high pressure kind of build in over the Gulf. So we'll get a little bit more of an eastern wind pattern there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and that makes it nice. Near shore, offshore, it makes it a little bit more difficult. This weekend, we've got that 39-hour trip going out there. We should be able to fare just fine. Going to be bumpy, but doable this weekend for the 39-hour trip. This 12-hour night trip might be able to just sneak out there before the wind kicks up. That's the goal here tonight. We'll look closer at that here in an hour or two once these boats get out, and hopefully the wind and waves will wait for us to get that 12-hour night snapper out there tonight. The 39-hour on the big Florida Fisherman, she's good to go, but it is going to be a bumpier trip this weekend. really the bumpiest conditions look to be Saturday and Sunday, and then Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday we have that east wind settle in, so we'll be able to fish near shore. It'll just be the offshore trips that are more affected. Keep in mind we have tons of other stuff going on too, like our Dolphin trips, island tours, sunset cruises. Those should all be fine through this weather period because we're not going to see a bunch of rain. The highest wind or the highest rain chances are going to be coming through probably tomorrow, and then the rest of it will kind of ease off with that prefrontal activity. That's when we have the highest chance for some of that rain. As far as the fishing goes, the fishing has been stellar, especially out there in deep water. The 12-hour extreme this past Sunday did really well. Over 24 keeper, red grouper, scamp grouper, mangrove snapper, big vermilions, porgies. We've been seeing a lot of pelagic action. They caught a wahoo on a slow pitch jig, which was really, really cool. We've also saw this past weekend on our 39-hour trip last weekend, they crushed the mangrove snapper, did really well on vermilions, had over almost 24 keeper, red grouper. A lot of pelagic action, like I said, a lot of big kingfish out there, tuna, wahoo, and you never know, there are a lot of people catching them, releasing those sailfish out there this time of year too. So the unicorns are around for sure. And near shore on our 5-hour half days, we're pretty much just catching those gray snapper or white grunts, porgies. Hogfish bites really slowed down, but you do have a shot at those mackerel and kingfish. On our 10-hour trips, we're doing really well on nice lane snappers, some big mangroves, a couple red grouper here and there. But like I said, those hogfish have pretty much quit on us. Now that that water temperature is up, we're fishing a little bit deeper, targeting those lane snapper, mangroves, and the occasional red grouper. Hopefully we'll see you out here for a private fishing charter, a public party boat trip, a dolphin tour, island trip, or a sunset cruise with free beer and wine. Don't forget, if you're too busy to go fishing, you're just too darn busy. Remember, we've got our Fox 13 news segment coming up here about 8:15 a.m. this morning. We've got our radio show tomorrow, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m., the Real Animals radio show on 970 WFLA. That streams live right here to our Facebook page. And then Sunday night, we've got our live stream show. It's up and running. Even though it's Mother's Day, we're making it happen. Sunday night, 8:30 p.m. We'll see you there. Happy early Mother's Day to any mothers who are watching. And I saw a couple comments. Yes, I did have a good vacation. It was the first vacation in over 3 years since before my son was born, and I needed it. It was a lot of fun hanging out with family, my kids, and catching up, and just spending some quality time doing nothing with my son, my daughter, my wife, and my in-laws. It was really, really cool. So I appreciate the comments and the questions. Hopefully y'all have a great day. Happy Friday and happy weekend, y'all. Tight lines. We'll see you soon inside Johns Pass at Hubbard's Marina.